Good morning, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. It is pre-market right now. Looking to get short here, 100 shares on INMB. I just adjusted my order. So INMB looking to go short 100 shares for those of you not familiar with my screen at 22. Market doesn't open up for over an hour, but you know this one is quite a bit of pre-market activity right now. So maybe a pre-market trade here. I'm not quite sure. And I say that just because these are truly live videos. This is not a post commentary or this is not some sort of voiceover. I don't know what's going to happen. So I have no idea if 22 will actually come into play or not. Looking like it has a great chance. But like I said, if it looks like I might get filled up there at 22, I will get the video rolling again at that point. If not, I'll just see you back at the open. Well, let's let it roll here. I'd like to see it have moved up there a little bit quicker. So let's go to 22.25 at this point. Just 100 shares. I can't remember if I mentioned this or not. I'd like more than 100, but that'll at least get my feet wet. All right, well, I've stalled long enough. If it looks like it wants to break through 22, well, there it goes. There, nice. All right, in for my first 100 shares. Again, just 100, so I'm not going to be making much on it. I mean, like I said, I'd ideally like to get more than 100. Like I said, at least it gets my feet wet here. Go for another 100 up at 22.85. All right, well, it just decided to give me $50, meaning I made 50 cents on it. So yes, I know, I'm saying the same thing myself. Clay, why don't you do 500 shares, 1,000 shares? You could have made 500 bucks. You're absolutely right. But if that thing kept on skyrocketing, then I wouldn't have had nearly the flexibility to do what I wanted to do. So yes, in hindsight, I agree with you. I should have done more, but that's just the tricky part of, let's see. At this point, want to go up to get over 23 now. Yeah, so 23.25, and we'll just start the process all over again. So we'll see if it wants to keep on moving back upwards. If it does, I'll get the video rolling. But if not, hey, I'm not complaining. Nice $50 bill to start off the day. Market opens now in about 15 minutes, but good example of why, I'm not saying it's got to be my community. Sure, I would love to have you part of my private community, but why being part of a community is worth it and why I would encourage it. Again, would love to have you part of mine, but you know, if you feel more comfortable with somebody else, that's totally cool too. But here is my watch list right there of stocks down below $10. And you'll notice that PRCP was not on the list. However, thanks to another member coming and alerting it right there, it is now brought to my attention, and a very, very interesting stock. I mean, this thing is moving all over the place. And like I said, shame on me. Somehow I missed it. I don't know how, but I missed. I guess I know how. I'm a human being. I only have 2 eyeballs. But point here being, this member brought it to my attention. So even though I missed it, by being a part of a community here, you know, that is one of those little benefits of it. So I don't know if I'm going to end up trading it or anything like that. But regardless, good to know that this was brought to my attention. Again, I'm actually watching this. Hi, let's see. Yeah, break up above. Yeah, right around 585 could be pretty interesting. So maybe there will be a pre-market trade here. Is this one? Actually give myself a little slippage. So let's watch this together here. Market opens up, like I said, in about 12 minutes. So might get a little quick scalp here. Curious if it can break up through that 585 mark. So in at 590. Let's see if this thing can at least get up over the $6 mark. Again, I'm in at 589. Pulling back here a bit though now. Might look to add some. I mean, it's just a $5 stock, so it's not definitely not anything huge. So first want to see it show some signs of strength by trying to come back up. So let's see if it wants to show that it wants to get back up above 550. So if it starts to work its way back to the upside, let's see, market opens up here in about 11 minutes. See if we can get a bounce off this area, which technically speaking is really what you would want to see happen here. Whoops. Working its way back up there. Like I said, let's see if it looks like it wants to get through 550, then I will pick up some more. So just ideally trying to bottom out here. So again, watching that area very closely. All right, well, got 400 more. So I'm at 575 now as my, or excuse me, 573 is my average. But if this thing can get up through the 575 mark, look at that size right there. That's going to be the key break. So 575, like I said, if it can get through there, it should move very nicely. See all that size right there? Right there, the 206. So that's the number that'll definitely need to be broken. It's getting hit. Getting smaller. It's trying. There's the break. Oh, I'm short 100 shares now. All right, all out there. Reason I got out. You saw the big number, you saw it break, and then nothing really happened. It still may go, but with as big of size as that was, as I showed you, in my opinion, when that broke, I wanted to see it move. I mean, it should have gone like boom then, and it really didn't. I mean, how high did it actually go with that break? Went up as high as 584 on that much volume, and now you can see the thing is just pulling back. So, I mean, the power of level 2 is there. Identified an area where a whole lot of sellers were. All those sellers were wiped away. And then as soon as they were wiped away, nothing really happened. So that's why I got out there. Could prove to be wrong, but as far as the level 2s are concerned, and now that fast, you know, it's made its way back up to there. But like I said, as far as what I was looking for, it just simply didn't happen. And when things are not happening what you believe to be happening, or should or the way they should be happening, like I said, there's no shame in just kind of admitting, yeah, you know what, I don't think I quite got this one right. And then, you can just get out of the trade there. But so that's $30. I mean, and that's a great thing about having a strategy in trading is, I mean, you can still be wrong or be partially right, which I was, and still walk away making money. So nothing great there, but I'm glad from a video perspective I was able to capture all that on video, because you saw exactly the big size. You saw the big size be wiped away, and then the price just really didn't budge or move, really that much at all. And now you can see back down it goes. So I am going to keep an eye on it. So again, I mean, think about it. That's $30 more in my pocket that I wasn't even aware of, thanks to that member. So Jetlag, who made that alert. Next time if we ever meet up in person, I got $30 that I owe you. So we'll go out to lunch or something. But all right, well, let's see. Market opens up here now in about 5 minutes. Little update here on INMB, now down below $17.50. So yes, in hindsight, I should have shorted like 10,000 shares, and I should be still holding right now. But that's why we are all trillionaires in our hindsight trading accounts. But figured I'd get a little update on there, because I'm not sure if I'm going to watch this one anymore or not. But, well, in all actuality, what looks super interesting is 1850. So for those of you that are wondering, now this one is still right there at the top of my watch list when I put this. But sometimes what I'll do is, when certain levels really stand out, I will make additional alerts. So that's what I want to do here, so you can kind of see. So on the open means after the market officially opens up, 1850 looks like a very interesting level. I'm definitely going to be watching that, and if it can get up there and potentially get the break up through it, or it looks like it's near around that area, that looks like I said, a key upside break point. I'm not quite sure what else needs to be said. So there we go. Members have the same opportunity as I do. So this is not some sort of game of musical chairs where I first buy and then I get everybody else, and then I alert it, and then everybody buys, and then they're pushing up the price so that I can sell into it and, dump on all the members and walk away and brag about my profits. But no, nothing like that. I don't have any right here, as you see. I just made the alert, typed it up right there. And then again, this is live, so will 1850 come into play? Maybe not, but even if it doesn't, at least you kind of see how, the behind the scenes of the private community works. Something very bizarre is going on here. 1759 has just been sitting there for the past couple of minutes now. I mean, it literally hasn't budged. You look down, let me bring down the chart, and you can see that these two candlesticks right here, the most recent one, see these little black blips? That just means that there's been no range. I mean, the thing just hasn't moved. So I don't know exactly what's going on here, but very, very, I don't know. Something strange is going on there with that 1759. So we'll see what happens with it, but you really don't see that. Something's so volatile, and then all of a sudden, it just isn't budging. It's almost like this thing wants to get halted. There we go. It's finally broken. So we'll see what happens with it. But yeah, that was quite the strange little dynamic there. Market opens now in less than 1 minute. All right, market is open. Like I said, 1850 is that mark I'm watching for, and I missed it. Can I get a pullback? Nope. Shoot. Well, if you're not familiar with my screen, if you had looked down there, you would have seen an order in white, which means I had my order into the market. I just didn't get it filled. Well, now it's pulling back, so maybe I'll have another opportunity here. Still, though, that made a nice little scalpel opportunity. Went up as high as $19, so that was a 50-cent move there in less than a minute. So bummer, I could have definitely capitalized on that. But as you saw, I was just a little too slow. So we'll let things start out here. Well, Boeing. Now it's going back up to 19. Well, that's all hindsight now. I had my chance to play on that pullback there, but just didn't quite play out the way I wanted it to. All right, well, let me keep looking around. All right, interested for a potential short here of Boeing at 175. Very, very key level. Going back to yesterday. So let's see if it can, close enough. I'm getting in at 175.12. I'm taking on some risk here though, because I never quite got the confirmation of the break. So we'll see if that proved to be unwise or not. Ooh, look at it. The price is really spiking up now. All right, if it wants to come down below 175.50, if it looks like it wants to break that, I will add some to the position. So let's see if this wants to actually come back down here. But yeah, things so far not looking so good. But let's see if this thing wants to fail. Ooh, wow, look at that. That's crazy. All right, well, I don't want to get shaken out on this potentially algo move here, but at this point, yeah, I can only take so much. So we'll see if this was just a spike with no power behind it, or, well, so all out there, not pleasant. Wow, that thing was crazy. And of course, now it starts to come back down here. But, and look at that. Now it drops. Yeah, I try to give that thing wiggle room, but at some point you just gotta admit that you've given it enough, and it's looking like it maybe got me. But I'm definitely still interested if it wants to come back down to that 175-ish area. So I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, as of right now, down over $1,000. All right, I'm going to get short here at 176. I think this thing wants to at least retest the 175.50 mark, if not even go lower than that. But let's see if we can get it down through 175.50. Thing is all over the place. But I think if we can get the break of 175.50, this thing's got a great chance to pick up just that much more downside pressure. Let's see what it wants to do. And I'm in at 176.04. Can it get through 175.50 on this current movement down? Let's see. That area is stubborn. I'm going to get that updated though. BA update 175.50 flush point 1 minute. Oh, there, nice, it broke. Okay, working its way down to 175, nice. Let's see if we can get it down some more. So all out there for a very nice score. Good, I got that alerted to members just in time. So now down $500, so still work to be done, sure, but I like that loss a lot more than being down over $1,000, but we'll see if I can find another trade out there or not. Still watching it. But yeah, still interested in potentially a short. I just want to see it bounce up some, so we'll see what happens. And just a quick little, so I think you probably heard me typing it, but there was the update that I did, the 175.50. So for those members that got that, excellent. And it's disappointing. I mean, I got stopped out basically up near those highs. And then the thing just totally rolled back over. But that's the thing, is you just had that thing kept moving and moving and moving. You just don't know. In hindsight, yes, I'm irritated that I took that loss. But like I said, I'd be extremely, extremely happy if this thing just kept skyrocketing upwards and it was at like 180, 185 right now. I'd be saying, oh, that was a great loss. I mean, it was a great loss. So yes, in hindsight, that one's frustrating, but it is what it is. Interested in another potential short here around 174.50. on Boeing. Let me get this. 174.50. Well, now it's right back to being that 175 mark being an interesting level. So now I'd be interested on a break of 175. Want to see what kind of candle here forms first. Yeah, you know, is this a dead cat bounce? Which is a valid and logical question to be wondering at this point. So in at 175.21, I think this thing does want to pull back some. Let's see if we can get down there. Well, it got through 175 for a split second. Let's try that again here. There we go. Okay, took 300 out, so I have 200 left. Let's see if we can get this down below 174.50. So now 100 shares left. So I'm going to let this one work for me here. If it goes up over 176, I will be out. So we'll just use a mental stop for that. But if this thing wants to keep on rolling down, that would be fantastic. But again, if it goes up over 176, then all right, well, looking like this thing, hammer candle here. All right, well, now I'm down, let's see, 340 on the day, so another nice trade there. And again, just with the theme of, so there was that alert, the new flush point, 174.50, which worked out beautifully there. So even if, now I took it at 175, but the 174.50 mark still would be playing out very nicely right now. Well, I got spooked out on that. I should still have those 100 shares. But we'll see what happens. All right, well, I'm chipping back a little bit here. I'm going to order at 179.25 here to go short on this bounce here. So let's see if it can work its way up to that area. Well, it did, but it didn't quite move as fast as I would want to see it. So let's try 179.45 here. I mean, this is a crazy, crazy move right now. Well, in hindsight, should have just kept it at 179.25, but that's good old hindsight. Sneaking up once again. All right, I'll pause. Go ahead and get long here at 15.49. I think this thing wants to get up over, there's the break. Let's see if we can get some more follow through now. Nope, hesitating too much. I'm just going to take the win right there. Very happy with that. All right, well, there's a quick scalp. Let's see what else I can find. Have an order at 18.45 here. Well, gonna go up to 18.95 now. Hesitated too much. Looking to go short. Wow, this thing's getting all over the place. All right, well, at this point, I'm going to get up over 19. Go to 19.45, and I'll let you know if it looks like it wants to get up there. All right, it's moving. All over the place. It got up as high as 19, and then it rejected back down that quick. So I'll keep a close eye on it. All right, there's the break. Wow, exactly what I was looking for. Broke through 19, and I don't know if you could tell, but it jumped up basically 75 cents immediately. Problem is, so let's go to 2050 at this point. Problem is, I wasn't quite good enough on my entry point, so let's try 2050. Again, want to see the same thing. Want to see it break 20 and then just shoot up. Although, is it going to get halted right here? Yeah, it looks like it's going to get halted. We'll watch for the halt. And there is the halt. Well, very clearly, and again, hindsight speaking, but if there's any consolidation, then that alert right there to members has me feeling good. 1550 upside break. You saw me take the trade. I bought in right before 1549 or right before 1550 at 1549 there. And you saw me, I mean, don't get me wrong, I still made very, very quick money on it, but had I been a little bit more patient, then yes, you could see that now I'm not saying that I'd still be holding even right now, but point here being just a monster move to the upside. So for those of you members out there that played that break, congratulations. I'm still very interested in this one though. Well, it's open again, have an order at 21. Well, once again, just keep stopping right where I want to get in. So let's try 2150 instead. Just 100 shares now, so very, very small position size. If I can build up something bigger, that would be great. But again, I'm not interested until entering until at least 2150. So let's see if it can get the break of 21. I will keep you updated. All right, there's the break. Went up and hit as high as 21.45. I'm staying in at 21.50 though. All right, well, it just keeps stopping. Got to go up to 22 now. I mean, it just literally is flirting right. In fact, it hit 21.50, but I didn't get filled. So I'm going to go ahead and pause. All right, 22.25 I'm in at, or I have my order at, I should say, excuse me. Going to go back to how I traded this one in the pre-market with that 25 order. So we'll see if we can get the break of 22. All right, quite a bit of downside pressure all of a sudden hitting it, so watching 20 very closely for a potential short-sided trade. Like I said, a lot of pressure all of a sudden just hit it. Downside pressure, that is. Just not quite sure if it's real yet or not. Okay, in at 20. Let's see if we can get more to the push to the downside here. Well, I tried down to there at 1950. Couldn't get it though. We'll see if it can want to make another move to the downside. There we go. All out there. Finally got that one. So look at that. I'm actually green $25 on the day. Recognized the selling pressure that came in, took advantage of it, and just like that, green $25. I'm happy. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. It is 10:30, and recently I like to be done within an hour at most. Ideally done within 30 minutes, 45 minutes, but an hour is where I like to cut things off. So closed green, $25, and maybe the moral of the story here is that sometimes. And if you've watched other of my videos, you'll see, $500 in 5 minutes, $1,500 in, 7 minutes, and crazy numbers like this. Well, here's an example where 1 hour and I made $25. So not every morning can be great. Not every morning is it going to rain down cash. Sometimes you're just going to have to, fight back, claw back, And today would have been actually a really nice day had Boeing not behaved the way it did. And I just laughed because I played it the right way, because all it would have taken is for that thing to keep on going up and up and up. And then I would have been looking at, instead of $1,000 loss, a $2,000 or a $3,000 loss. I mean, the case in point, because this is what, let's end on this. So this is what I didn't want to see happen. I mean, because Boeing has the potential where it breaks out and then it just grinds and grinds and grinds. In fact, it's doing it right now, just going up and up and up. And of course, this time it rolled back over. I would have been okay. But what if, again, what if the price would have kept going up and up and up? Like I said, that $1,000 loss could have been so much bigger, and it would have been that much more of a difficult hole to climb out of. But I kept the loss manageable. I kept, the loss within my realm of, okay, I'm still confident. I cannot necessarily climb out of the hole, but at least keep it a modest day. And in this situation, I was actually able to climb out of the hole. But the voices are definitely playing Clay. If you would have just held through there, that would have been a winning trade. And then you would have had all these other winning trades. I mean, you'd be looking at maybe even $1,000 a day, Clay. Yes, the voices are definitely telling me that right now. But those are the good old hindsight voices. Well, 31 minutes in, if you are still watching this video, then seriously, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate you sticking with me for this long. And, oh, great. Now this is making me want to take it. No, Clay, it's 10:30. You got to move on with your day. So I will move on with it. But the YouTube voice are showing up. Clay, don't show subscribers. You only made $25. Try to get one more winning trade. That way you can. But that's such a stupid voice, right? But it exists. I have no problem admitting that. Always the YouTube voices are another dynamic out there. But again, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, do me a couple things to let me know. Hey, Clay, yeah, please keep making these videos. Time efficient way to do that, hit that like button. Comments, questions, suggestions, leave those down below. And then also check out the channel as a whole. Like I said, lots of other live trade videos. So you'll notice some where in the title, it is some very respectable amounts of money in some very small amounts of time. But just keep this video in mind too. You could be in an hour and you could be at $25, or some cases maybe you've even lost a little bit of money. That's just the life of the day trader. That's how things actually work out. But like I said, if you're still with me now, really do appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out. Please hit that like button and hopefully decide to become a subscriber to the channel. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.